Griffin Ramsey. I've been chainsaw carving for about 5 years, and I have yet to carve my first bear. Most carvers carve bears, so I haven't felt like there was a need to make them. Like the world, I thought, had enough of them. But I keep getting requests for more, so I guess I'm going to do it. It's a rite of passage, I think, to carve a bear as a chainsaw carver. Fortunately, I happen to know some really excellent bear carvers, and several of them are going to be at this upcoming chainsaw carving event called Chaptacular in Gray, Georgia. I signed up for the event, and the organizer said, yeah, come on by, so I'm going to pack up my things and go learn how to carve some bears. With me, I'm going to bring my mentor, R.L. Blair. He's the one who first got me started chainsaw carving. He's a wealth of knowledge and a hilarious character, and I'm excited to have him along for the trip.
We left at 8:30, but now it's 2:30. Took us all day long just to get the out of Texas.
So how long ago did you start carving?
Way over 60 years ago.
Do you remember your first carving?
No, I was just a little kid. Didn't have TV or any other form of entertainment. So I'd go out and whittle with a pocket knife. Make little kid stuff. Little toy wooden guns, slingshots. Just stuff for kids to play with. Being a whole bunch of Band-Aids. And I did that for a long time.
So when was the first time you used a chainsaw to carve?
Probably 64 or 5, around in there. Well, the only reason I started using chainsaws was the need for speed. And I'm not a chainsaw carver. I'm a wood carver that uses chainsaws.
What's the difference?
It's another tool, and it'll get you down to what you want to accomplish in a very fast period of time. And back in the 60s and 70s, you could make a lot of money doing chainsaw carvings because there was a lot of novelty to it.
Yeah.
Nobody'd seen it done before. So they were going for the hoopy part. But nowadays, hell, there's somebody on every street corner. So it's just a tool.
When did you get your first carving bar?
Late 60s.
Oh, they had them that early?
Yeah.
What did you carve?
I did big bears, like 6-foot bears. I'd use axes, and that's how I roughed them out.
Okay.
And then I'd go back over them with hand gouges for the detail and the texture. And this take me a whole goddamn week.
Right.
So with the chainsaw, I could eliminate the axe and get that part done in a day.
Yeah.
And then I still went back and finished everything by hand. Because the only thing I care about is the finished product.
For me, I find that I have enthusiasm for 3 days.
Yeah.
If I can't get something done in 3 days, it's going to sit for months.
I don't care what I do. About halfway through it, I think, what the hell was I thinking? You know, everything takes twice as long as you expect it to.
Yes.
You know?
So the chainsaw at least helps
Get there quick. Yeah. And also, with the speed and the chainsaw and the power tools, you don't start prostituting your imagination. You got a good idea in the morning, and if you can execute it with speed, you got a good chance of it being what you imagined. If it takes you a week, you start modifying it in your head to make it easier. So a week later, it may not be what you dreamed up initially. So you can capture, with the power tools, the power equipment, you can capture that thought and object in its originality instead of selling it short due to time. Yeah.
You had told me that that bears always sell.
Yep.
But when you first started carving them, was it something you really wanted to carve? No?
I would do original concepts, and I wouldn't replicate them. But when it become a commercial thing, a living and all that, the speed is in the repetition. You don't get really fast and successful at any concept till you're almost to the point where you hate the goddamn thing. You know, I can do a bear in a matter of hours. I just can't talk myself into it in a matter of hours.
Right.
It's like, I gotta do another bear, you know?
I've noticed at every auction, people buy the bears.
Oh yeah, it's a simple carving that lends itself well to chainsaw work too because it's pretty well round.
So for somebody starting off in carving, it's not an easy thing to learn how to do because there's no like class for it. You kind of just have to go and jump in.
That's the only way to do it.
What do you think are the first things you need to get started carving?
Learn how to use the equipment. Well, first off, you can't carve with a chainsaw if you don't know how to run the damn thing. But you better get used to it before you start making the cuts necessary to carve, because we do a lot of very dangerous maneuvers. Start off with simple concepts. Do round objects as an example. Do owls or bears or concepts that don't have internal plunge cuts or cuts that are inherently dangerous with a chainsaw. Something that's not going to kick back or cut you or get your legs or whatever. Wear the chaps, wear the gloves, wear the hearing protection. Always wear glasses.
Well, what do you think is the most important part of this trade as a job?
I don't know what the most important part is.
I think though, just willingness to do physical labor.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Because
that's the thing.
it isn't an easy job.
I like other people that like physical labor because there's so many people that can't handle it.
Yeah.
And especially in our world now, so many people have office jobs or jobs that don't require just getting down and like getting dirty and working your ass off. And that is something that most carvers do have in common. It's like we're willing to work hard physically. And it's not like glamorous, like that's the part of the job that's really not the glamorous part. It's not the artistic side, but I think it's super satisfying. Well, I do think that most carvers work alone. I mean, we're alone most of the time, so I think that's why these chainsaw carving events are good, because it's a chance for us to actually have some camaraderie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I enjoy that part. I also enjoy leaving that part. So it's fun to go to these events, and it's fun to leave these events.
So much bigger than anything we have in Texas.
Anything's bigger than what we have in Texas. I don't know how hard this is. I'm not used to cutting it. But
Yeah, how hard this is?
It's just soft.
Pretty soft?
Yeah.
is it?
I mean, it's one of the softer woods.
I'm not used to all the weird woods they have in this part of the country.
Not too bad.
That's all we know over here. Pine trees are everywhere around here. That's money.
This is a good log. It's
Yeah.
a good size. And
I don't want to go too high. I think maybe go up. If I go 6 feet, I got a little bit to cut off. So do you think we could get somebody to cut it at 6 feet and bring it over?
I mean, because the ass so nice. I mean,
Good.
I wouldn't have done it for Dayton.
Part of the reason I wanted to go to this event is that I knew there would be a lot of really good bear carvers there. And I decided it was something I wanted to tackle, and the best way to do it is to ask the experts.